Uh-oh. Push, 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 push! I should have been in first gear. No!
This is going to be a bit of a highlight edit from a recent ride. The full video is going to be linked in the description, which I've dumped on my second channel. This is the planned route, but we ended up turning back twice, as you can see here. The first was a turn back because we got into too gnarly terrain and we decided to turn back. The second was a turn back because we were pretty exhausted and it was getting more and more snowy on the mountain, so we ended up turning back to cut our losses. The ride began pretty easily. There were a lot of ruts, but none of them were really deep. You just had to make sure that you pay attention to avoid dropping the bike. We eventually arrived at what you might call a water crossing, really just a pool of dirty water, but it's deeper than anything that I've gone through before, and it really was sort of wading through the water. I'm not too concerned with the water in and of itself. Going through water seems like a cool thing I want to try, but not seeing what's on the ground below the water because it's dirty and not knowing whether I'm gonna hit a rock or something like that, that was kind of the somewhat scary part of going through the puddle, even though it was just a puddle, and most likely there wouldn't be anything big under there. But, you know, we've had a bunch of ruts on this trail, so you could have seen easily there being some kind of rut that you get stuck with that you don't see.
Uh-oh. I prefer not to get super wet. That was the closest thing to a water crossing. That wasn't a proper water crossing, to be clear. I'm just saying it was the closest thing to a water crossing that I have done. I don't like mud. I don't like getting muddy. Dirty is fine. I don't mind dirt. I mind mud. I once rode like across a motocross track while it was raining, and because of reasons. And I did not enjoy the mud that came from that. Fine, I'll go on the left. Slightly less rocks. I don't like it in corners. There we go.
And here we arrive at some train tracks along which we initially decided to ride, but we quickly changed our minds. And here we are foiled by an evil train. And we're about to arrive at the first real challenge of the day. It's a pretty steep incline with a lot of rocks, especially on the right side. I'm going up on the right side and it's fine, but I can feel the rocks hitting my pegs and so on, and I make the split-second decision to switch to the left, which didn't work out, and then I lost traction and had to go down and come back up.
There we go.
And attempt 2, going on the left side this time.
Push, 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 push! There you go, the butt.
Nice, finally.
And here comes the second challenge of the day.
Fuck, I should have been in first gear. No! Jesus. Ah, fuck. Then
Stand it up and just walk
probably,
it.
yeah. Okay, so maybe Whoa, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Oscar's gonna go back. We're gonna go into this.
This is fucking hard, even though we're two people.
Yeah, it is. That's just the fucking way it's where how it's at.
Put your front brake.
You have your front brake, right?
Yeah.
You got your back in gear?
Front brake is in. It should
Okay.
be in gear. Yeah.
Okay. Right here.
Hold on. Oh.
Hold on.
Let's just stabilize it. Okay. Oops.
Fuck. You wanna go see the next fucking climb?
So my riding buddy was a little bit further up, and there was another incline at least as bad or worse than that apparently, so we decided to just turn back. He also got stuck a couple of times at the foot of that hill when he was coming down, so by the time this ended we were both kind of exhausted, to be honest. And here's me not respecting the mud.
Jesus, fuck! I don't believe it.
This time I'm off pretty quickly again, and we ride all the way back out and take the pavement over to the beginning of the actual Cleghorn Ridge Trail.
Because we were gonna drop down through there, like that's the trail we were coming on.
Okay.
This is my first time riding Cleghorn Ridge. It's marked as a blue trail on Onyx, but those ratings are usually for four-wheelers. The part that we went on until we turned back, which was maybe at the 40% point or something like that, 30-40%, seemed pretty easy under normal circumstances. There were two reasons why it got a little bit more difficult for us, one of which was both of them because of the recent rain, or the recent precipitation. There was one place where you had to pick your line pretty carefully to avoid some potentially gnarly mud.
Good line.
The other difficulty due to the time of year was the snow. As we were getting higher and higher up, we started seeing, ice and snow, slushy snow, a little bit of icy stuff. And this was actually my very first time ever riding a motorcycle in those conditions. I've ridden a car in snow a lot growing up in Sweden, but never a motorcycle, so this was new to me. Overall, I would say that the slushy snow felt fairly similar to sand, to like sort of deep sand or deepish sand.
Whew.
That was bad. I almost cleared it, but I tried to climb up it.
Yeah. Whew. Let me think. I'm out of breath too.
No, take your time. Oh, that shit did bend.
It's bent?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you intentionally not using handguards? You don't like them, or?
No, I already went to 3 pairs.
I see. Yeah. You good?
Tired?
Tired but good?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least now I know to avoid the first part of Cleghorn and skip over it.
The section down there?
Sorry?
The section down there?
Yeah.
Now I can see why everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never done it. I wanted to figure out what it was. Now I know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I kicked myself though for the whole second gear thing. That was such an avoidable crash.
Nah, but the next one too is still steep though.
Yeah, okay.
And who knows what's happening after that.
So by this time we were both pretty tired. I had dropped my bike. He had dropped his bike a couple of times. We were seeing more and more snow, and it just seemed like the right call to cut our losses and head back out. So another bike drop. Again, probably the right thing to head out.
I'll help if you wait a little.
That's me not even being able to speak properly. That's just because I'm pretty exhausted at this point. Nothing more eventful really happened. We just headed back out to the pavement. Let me know if you prefer these slightly more narrated videos, or if you prefer that I just shut up and show you the footage.